Phillip Story, SEO and Head of Distribution for ITA Middle East here, based in Dubai, covering the EMEA region. Investors Trust is a specialist offshore savings and investment provider. We're based out of the Cayman Islands and have regional offices all around the world, looking after and distributing our products through third-party distribution like brokers, banks, etc. We're in Dubai. UAE is having some massive changes that will impact all of the insurance companies here. And I know all of us, we've been chatting to some of our colleagues who run some of the other businesses, and we're all looking and just waiting for that final piece in the jigsaw puzzle from the insurance authority. I think once we have that through, we have a business plan in place for that, whichever way it goes. Actually, 3 business plans at the moment, waiting just to see which way it goes, and then we can then work on that and actually deliver. And I think we all just want that clarity now, just so everyone can move forward, which will be good for the insurance business itself to get that clarity. What it will mean for the advisors, a lot of changes. There's going to be huge developments obviously from their side, whether it's making sure all of their guys are qualified to be able to give the advice, whether it's the product changing that's going to affect the companies that are delivering those products. All of that's coming through and will make the situation that's quite tricky for the insurance companies, but also the brokers. And the costs will go up as well for the brokerages as well. So I think over the next year or so you're going to see some consolidation. There already has been. There's been a number of brokerages being bought out and consolidated to be able to get both the insurance authority license and the ESCO license as well. How that impacts the client? I mean, at the end of the day, regulatory change is really always driven to try and help the client get a better value product. And that's what it should end up as being. And I think you'll see that come through. The products will change, they will deliver better value for the customer. They will hopefully be on a more modern IT system, so that they get a better access, better transparency as well. And at the end of the day, they'll get better value for money. But that's going to take some time as well. And I think the regulations, you have to be careful with those as well, because what we've seen in some countries is the choice has been reduced as well. So the regulations have actually had a slightly negative impact as well, with the reduction in the choice of products, particularly in places like Hong Kong. And we've seen it here a little bit with ESCO on the fund side. Their regulation has reduced the number of funds, and some of the funds that have been impacted have been ETFs, which are the cheaper funds, which actually probably clients should be maybe advised more to go towards. So yeah, so there's a lot of positives from it for the customers at the end of the day. We're looking forward to it. With regards to here in the Middle East, yeah, I mean, with the Dubai office, we've been growing and growing over the last 3 years, been doubling up business every year so far. We're looking to try and finish that off this year as well. Then maybe start slowing down a little bit, because you can't keep doubling every year. So, but yeah, it's been a good year. I think the reasons for that are just the focus we've given to making sure we deliver on what we want with the brokers. So modern 21st century systems, IT systems, vital nowadays. Modern 21st products and solutions that adapt to the client's needs rather than being very old product, should we say, rather than solution. And also service as well, 21st century service. Nowadays you've got to make it as easy as possible for both the client and the broker who's managing that business to look at things online, to be able to manage those clients online, to be able to service those clients online, make it as easy as you possibly can. Those things, I think we're light years ahead of anybody else. I think there's a lot of insurance companies that are based here. It's become a hub. I mean, you know, we moved here and set up the office here 3.5 years ago. The reason I chose the DIFC and the DFSA as our regulator in the Middle East is because I believe they're probably the best one here at the moment. ESCO and the Insurance Authority are developing their regulations very quickly, and I think that causes a lot of change for the market here, but it also is good for the client. At the end of the day, all 3 of those main regulators, and Abu Dhabi as well, the new financial markets regulator there, all of them are bringing in modern 21st century legislation and regulation that will help develop the products and the service and the quality of the advice that are given to clients. The advisors, I think, are going to have a number of issues. I mean, there's huge changes and huge challenges for them, as there is for the insurance companies. There's going to be cost increases, of course, because you've got greater costs coming with all of this regulation, whether that's the fees you have to pay and the deposits, or whether it's just the ongoing maintenance of making sure you're doing your AML and know your client and so on. But also there's the qualifications as well for the individual advisors. They're going to have to all be qualified. So, you can see here CISI and CII have been very busy helping to try and work with the brokerages, and a number of those brokerages have got a head start and really have been working hard to make sure they've adapted already both their business models to maybe a more recurrent income stream, and also to make sure their advisors are qualified. There's also quite a few brokerages who haven't changed yet. They got their head in the sand still and maybe are just waiting to be told what to do. I'm feeling now, for me, is they're probably too late if they haven't changed already. Yeah, I mean, one of the other things with regulation that's going to be changing here massively is the commission side of things. And obviously that will impact the brokers big time. Now, we're not quite sure what the final piece is going to be with the insurance authority. We know what it is with ESCA, we know what it is with the DIFC. So, and obviously with the Isle of Man bringing their commission disclosure in now, I think the 1st of January 2019 they've announced. So there's going to be a lot of changes for a lot of insurance companies to make sure they're pushing through those commission changes. And that will impact the broker's income stream going through. Now I think we've always stood it outside of that. We've never been an indemnity commission company. We've only ever played non-indemnity. And I think that's driven a lot of quality business to us over the years, which has been fantastic. Now, from a broker perspective, obviously it's going to impact their income stream, but most of the ones I've spoken to over the last year or two have already started to adapt, moving more towards a salary and bonus type structure or so on. But as I mentioned earlier, there's still a lot of companies out there, a lot of brokers who've got their head in the sand, and I don't think we realise what the impacts are going to be. So we'll wait and see what happens in the next 6 to 12 months, but I think there'll be some big changes. I've been here now in the Middle East now for nearly 14 years, and I know the market pretty well, and I know most of the competition pretty well. And I think what ITA do very differently is, it comes back to 21st century IT systems, 21st century solutions and 21st century service. If you can do all of those three things very well, which we do, and I think we're light years ahead on all of those, then I think you can then deliver something different to the brokers and to the clients as well.